It's good to have you here. This is LUZIC. Tonight's letter is about friendship, but not the kind that lasts forever, the kind that ends. It's from Sarah. She's 58 years old. 3 weeks ago, she ended a 30-year friendship. Not because of a fight, not because they grew apart, but because of one word: petty. Here's Sarah's story. They say 30 years is enough time to know someone's soul. My friend Linda and I met when we were in our 20s, 1992 in a small apartment in Portland. We were roommates, bridesmaids at each other's weddings, and the first people we called when our children were born. I remember the day Linda had her first child. The phone rang at 3 a.m. and I rushed to the hospital in my pajamas. Labor lasted 18 hours, and I held her hand through all of it. When the baby was born, Linda looked at me and said, "You're my sister, not by blood, but by something deeper. We survived the chaotic 90s together. We shared Thanksgiving dinners for decades. We leaned on each other when life got tough. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, we cried together in the hospital waiting room. When she went through her divorce, she stayed on my couch for a week. When my husband passed away 10 years ago, Linda was the one who held my hand at the funeral. I couldn't speak. I couldn't even lift my head. Linda wrapped her arm around my shoulder and whispered, 'Just breathe. I'll handle the rest.' That day, Linda organized the funeral, greeted the guests, and cleaned my house. I wouldn't have survived that day without her. I felt we were more than friends. We were sisters. We had a ride or die pact. Every year on our birthdays, we shared the same cake. Chocolate cake with strawberry frosting. Never missed it once in 30 years. We even dreamed of living in the same retirement community, growing old together while sipping tea on a porch. Linda always said, "We're both alone anyway. We might as well grow old together." I'd laugh and say, "Deal, if you get dementia, I'll remind you of your name every day." 30 years. During that time, Linda was my whole life. 3 years ago, everything changed. It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon in November. Linda knocked on my door without warning. When I opened it, her face was pale and her eyes were red and swollen. We sat at my kitchen table. Linda was gripping her coffee cup with both hands, but she didn't drink. "Sarah," she said in a shaking voice, "I really need help." Her son, the baby I'd known since he was born, was about to lose his first home. His wife had been diagnosed with breast cancer. The medical bills that insurance didn't cover kept piling up. They'd fallen behind on the mortgage. The bank started foreclosure proceedings, Linda said, choking on tears. "If we don't come up with $15,000 in a month, they'll lose the house." $15,000. I wasn't rich. I'd been working double shifts at a diner for years, standing on my feet for 10 hours a day. That $15,000 was my rainy day fund, my only security for retirement. The money I'd saved over 7 years since my husband died. Little by little, every month, even coins from my tip jar. That money was for when I got sick someday. Or when I could no longer work at the diner. But Linda was crying. My friend of 30 years. The person who held my hand at my husband's funeral. Just 3 months, Linda said, looking me straight in the eye. As soon as my real estate commission clears, I'll pay you back with interest. I wrote the check with a trembling hand. My hand was shaking so much I had to rewrite the numbers twice. Thank you, Sarah, Linda said as she took the check. You're an angel. I'll never forget this. After she left, I sat alone at my kitchen table. I looked at my bank statement and thought, it's okay, 3 months. It's Linda. 3 months later, I called. Linda, is it ready? I'm not in a rush, just checking. Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry. Linda's voice was bright. The real estate deal is delayed just 1 more month. Is that okay? It was okay, 1 more month. A month later. Linda, how's it going? Oh, my car broke down. The repair was more expensive than I thought. Next month for sure. The next month. My mom was hospitalized. I'm so overwhelmed right now. The month after that. The roof is leaking and I have to fix it just a little longer. 6 months passed, then a year. Every time I called, my voice got smaller. It felt like I was asking for something wrong. Linda, sorry, but could you... Sarah, I'm really struggling right now. Please understand. We're friends, right? We're friends. Those words made me go silent. 2 years passed. I stopped calling. The guilt was too heavy. What broke our 30-year friendship wasn't the money. It was the lies and the avoidance. Then, one Friday night, I came home from an exhausting evening shift. My feet hurt so badly. After standing for 10 hours, my ankles swell and my knees ache. I filled a large basin with hot water and soaked my feet. I leaned back on the couch, sighed, and pulled out my phone. I opened Instagram, and I saw it. Linda's post. A 5-star resort in Aspen. Snow-covered mountains in the background. Linda holding a champagne glass. A brand new Prada bag. A new cashmere coat. The caption, treating myself because I deserve it, #blessed, #luxury life, #self-love. So gorgeous. So jealous. Comments, Linda's living her best life. My feet were trembling in the basin. I didn't know if it was from the hot water or from rage. I scrolled down. 1 month ago, weekend in Miami Beach, #vacation. 2 months ago, new BMW delivered. Dreams do come true, #grateful. 3 months ago, Tuscany, Italy, #life is beautiful. I put down my phone. My heart didn't just break, it felt cold. She had money for Aspen, but not for me. Money for a BMW, but not for me. Money for Tuscany, but not for me. No, it wasn't that she didn't have the money. She never intended to pay me back. The final straw was at a mutual friend's retirement gala last month. The party was on a Saturday evening at 7 p.m. at a hotel ballroom downtown. I spent all afternoon worrying about what to wear. All I had in my closet was a 5-year-old black dress. My shoes were worn, the heels peeling. I bought shoe polish and carefully cleaned them. I ironed the dress twice. I looked in the mirror and thought, I look decent enough, at least there's dignity. When I walked into the ballroom, people were laughing under the chandelier lights. And across the room, I saw Linda, sipping expensive Chardonnay, wearing a new dress, pearl necklace, surrounded by people, laughing. I hesitated for a long time, but I decided one last time, let's talk quietly. I walked up to Linda. I stood beside her and whispered, Linda, can we talk for a moment about the money? Linda turned around. Not sorry, not surprised. Annoyed. Her eyes were full of irritation. And she laughed. A hollow, condescending, cold laugh. She said it loud enough for everyone around to hear. Oh, Sarah, are you still on about that? I totally forgot. It's such a small amount anyway. Don't be so petty at our age. It's kind of embarrassing. Such a small amount. Petty. Embarrassing. Those words rang in my ears. People around started looking at me. Someone laughed. Such a small amount. That small amount was the result of 2,000 hours sweating in a hot kitchen. The money I'd saved little by little every month for 7 years. My only retirement fund. The money I desperately saved to survive alone after losing my husband. In that moment, I realized I wasn't her friend. I was just her backup plan. I was a tool she used to feel superior. 30 years. That time meant nothing to her. I walked out of that party without saying a word. As I walked to the parking lot, I thought I might cry. But the tears didn't come. I sat in my car and pulled out my phone. I found Linda's number, and I pressed block. I deleted her from Instagram, Facebook, every social media. 30 years disappeared in 5 minutes. When I got home, I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling. Strangely, I didn't cry. Instead, my chest felt empty. The next morning, I woke up as usual and made coffee. And I realized something. I lost $15,000 and my best friend of 30 years. But at the same time, I gained something. My self-respect. People tell me, but it's been 30 years, don't throw it away. It's hard to make friends when you're older. Friendship is more important than money. But I tell them, 30 years isn't a free pass for betrayal. It's actually a reason to be more hurt. If you've known me for 30 years and still choose to treat me like I'm worth such a small amount, you don't deserve a place in my life. I'm 58 now. I still work at the diner. My feet still hurt. I still don't have enough retirement savings. But for the first time in a long while, I feel light. I'd rather be alone and respected than surrounded by fake friends who treat my life's work like small change. To everyone listening, Is there someone in your life you're holding on to just because of time? Time doesn't make a relationship healthy. Sometimes letting go is the only way to protect yourself. Maybe it's time to let go. That was Sarah's letter. There's something she said that I keep thinking about. 30 years isn't a free pass for betrayal. It's actually a reason to be more hurt. I think she's right. We're taught to value time, to hold on to friendships because we've known each other so long. But time doesn't justify disrespect. Time doesn't erase betrayal. Sometimes the longer you've known someone, the more painful it is when they choose not to see your worth. Sarah lost $15,000. She lost her best friend of 30 years. But she kept something more important: her self-respect. If you're listening tonight and there's someone in your life you're holding on to just because of how long it's been, maybe ask yourself, does this person still honor who I am? Or am I just comfortable with the pain? Sarah, thank you for this letter. Choosing yourself after 30 years of loyalty to someone else, that's not petty. That's brave. This is LUZIC Radio. Good night.